Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 75. Today we are playing the Bandle Tree Jhin. And so, in terms of Jhin and competitive decks, I have not had much success with Jhin. If you want to go over to runeterra.ar, if you want to go to Balco's Sart, LOR-meta, you can see like the Jhin win rates are just pretty abysmal across the board. There's not a single one that has a positive win rate, and most of it looks like it's going pretty poorly. And I kind of have been in the same boat. I've been trying to really kind of like drill down and analyze what works with Jhin and what doesn't. And I don't think that the cards are exactly there right now to make a real and viable deck. But I'll at least share with you kind of my findings and kind of the interesting things that we'll see with Jhin and where I see him to be kind of interesting and where I think we might see some usage out of him in the future. And so with Jhin, there's three concepts with him, right? There is his origin ability, which lets you play all of the skill-based followers in your deck. There is the fast, slow, or skill-based abilities to where he has the Lotus Trap out of hand, and that's how you get him to flip. And then there's the stun-based strategies to where you're looking to take advantage of his attack ability and then kind of incidentally take advantage of his Lotus Trap stunning off the opponent's weakest unit. And so, in terms of each of these things, I don't. You have to, I think, isolate those. I don't think that there is a way to take advantage of all three of these or even two of these within the same deck, at least with the card pool that we have right now. And so, to kind of like speak on each of these, in terms of the fast, slow, and skills thing, you have to be paired off with Annie. You have to play Annie Jhin. You have to play the Conservatory, the one cost landmark, whatever it's called. If you're coming out here and stacking your deck full of all of these playabilities, you have to just hit some of your payoff. And if you're only playing Jhin, then the opportunity for you to hit your payoff is pretty low. And I think you really need that full stack of 9 cards to have some of to help you ensure that you have the payoff hit in each game. And so I don't feel like that's a particularly powerful deck at the moment. Who's to say once the next set is released or once this format has a bit of time to kind of develop, if something comes out of that, but at the current moment, I don't think that's a really strong deck. The second thing with Jhin is the stuns, right? The Jhin Yasuo looks like a fairly obvious pairing. You could also go and look towards, say, someone like Jhin Leona, and Leona's Daybreak ability kind of doubles up with Jhin. It puts the skill thing on the stack, and it is also a stun. And so, from those, the problem that I've seen here, and at least in terms of Yasuo and in terms of Leona, are the stuns just aren't good enough. Like, it's not to say that stun isn't a powerful ability. We certainly saw the usage of, say, like Wallop in Bandle City's Prime. In our seasonals lineup, we were looking to play some stuns just to help manage against Pantheon, but we weren't like fully building around it. And I'm trying to like imagine the scenario to where you would be really happy just kind of building around stuns. And I think that's like very meta dependent. If it's a format that's say full of like pantheons and Alawis or something, then you could probably realistically try and counter that meta with the stuns. But for whatever reason that we see with Runeterra, the metas never shake out like that. There's just never like 3 or 4 top decks in a meta. There's always like 8 or 10 top decks, and so you can't build around to beat certain strategies. You're really forced to come out here and either A, just be ultra aggressive, or B, be a very kind of generalist strategy. There's no real building to fight the meta, in my opinion. And I think that's also why we don't see control decks in the game. It's not so much that the aggro decks are so good. It's just that when you're playing control decks, you have to kind of adapt to the meta and choose the removal suite and the right lineup of cards in your list to combat the top dogs of the meta. And the way that it's come together in Runeterra, where like Annie Jhin's like 15% of the meta, but nothing else is above like 6 or 7%. When we saw the Sun Disc at its height, it was up around 20. but then no other deck or champion combo was really over like 10%. And so with these super wide open metas, you just can't find the place to fit in stuns, right? You'd say, cool, I built my really sweet stun deck, and then you play against scouts, and then you play against pirates, and then you play against Bandle City, and you're like, oh, well, this is dumb. I was supposed to be playing against the Go Tall decks, and I haven't seen a single one today. And that concept, it doesn't really work out either. And so, to circle all around to concept number 3, what I think is interesting with Jhin and these skill based units is what if we're using this as a means to go like really multi faction, or to kind of supplement a faction that doesn't have access to something. And so the first kind of thing I was looking towards was, say, like plunders and transforms. And so since we have so many of these kind of damaged based skill units, right? There's the Crackshot Corsair, the Legion Saboteur, the Tusk Rider, the Imperial Demolitionist, the Doom Beast. You have basically a big pile of stuns, and you have a big pile of damage-based abilities. And so the first kind of thought I had was, let's look towards these damage-based abilities. We can look towards the transform mechanic out of Bandle City. We can look to the transform mechanic out of Freylord. And I wasn't really happy with that anywhere. And so then the next extension of that is kind of like after exploring the transform cards was, what if we really look towards multi-faction, but we're not playing multi-faction? And I'm not targeting multi-faction in terms of say like Tristana. Tristana wants you to see you play a bunch of the actual multi-faction cards. I'm talking about cards like the Bandle Tree, and cards like Yordles in Arms, the cards that once they've seen you play multiple factions, you get to have something happen. And so that does give us the opportunity to use Jhin to incorporate these other factions into our deck without necessarily playing all of the multi-faction cards. And so we are playing with Gnar, we are playing with Ziggs, we are playing with Bandle City Mayor over here. These are multi-faction ideas. But we're looking to actually use Jhin to be the supplier of multi-faction cards. And so we're just playing one copy of Jhin. I don't really care if we ever draw Jhin. It would probably be beneficial if we just never drew Jhin. He doesn't combo with the Bandle Tree. We do have a handful of skill-based abilities, but nothing is ever going to activate the trap, or we're not really going to use Jhin. Jhin is here specifically to take up a deck slot to allow us to play these other factions. And so our kind of idea here with the Bandle Tree is we just need to stall the board, and there are a bunch of stun and bounce cards. We have the Sunhawk, the Slinger, and the Arachnoid Sentry. There is the Maker as a recall unit. All of these are out of factions outside of Bandle City. We have some kind of utility in the Chempunk Shredder, giving us a P&Z unit, and then the Doom Beast and Riptide Rex give us, the Doom Beast gives us some stall, the Riptide Rex gives us some board clear, while all providing us with different factions. And so that's the idea that we're bringing to the party today, is that we're looking to use all of these stun-based Jhin cards to just buy time to really get the Bandle Tree going. And so that's the concept we're looking to explore. I was initially exploring like a Yordles in Arms deck, but you run into the issues with the Yordles in Arms deck. You need the Elusives or the Overwhelms, and the Elusives and Overwhelms don't quite exist. There's a little bit of each, right? You can do stuff like play Teemo, you can play Fizz. There is the Bandle Commando, whatever the 2-cost one is that makes the Outcats. And then looking at Overwhelms, you can find things like, there's a couple from the Jhin cards. There's the Targon thing that double stuns, and I feel like there was an additional one. But I didn't feel like there was enough density of those cards there to really work for us, and I'm kind of interested in this skill-based kind of ability, this multi-faction kind of ability without playing the multi-faction cards. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. I'll go ahead and put this out here. I don't feel like this is going to be an ultra competitive deck. We're just going to go and play 5 or 6 or 7 games out of the normals, see if we can't activate the Bandle Tree and have some happy times with that. But this is kind of the concept as I see with Jhin. And I think he just needs a little bit of help. I think there's definitely some strength here. Whether or not it's going after the skill stuff or going after the thing we're doing here, but I just don't think the cards quite exist yet. I think he needs a few more sets, or if we go to the next set and there's like a P&Z champion that has this kind of ability attached to him, maybe there's something there, but I don't think Jhin is currently a competitive player on the ladder. Not to say that we can't have fun with Jhin, though. And so that is who we're going to be doing battle with today. You all know what we do to get the wins. We have to go and pay the pay-to-win price. And so we had somebody in here. We're kind of light on these cards. I don't feel like there was the Spell Slinger. Oh, it was the Maker I was looking at. Yeah, we'll go with the Spell Slinger. This guy's common. And so this is part of the stuff I tried with Jhin. I tried Jhin with spiders. So say like Jhin Elise, we tried that. I tried Jhin with... I had another fairly spicy Jhin number that just didn't work either. It's pretty tough finding the space to get him to work. And so I don't think that he's a bad champion. I just don't think that the cards exist to make him good, and then B, I think the meta is sort of a kind of go wide meta right now, with looking to take a lot of advantage of Bard, and I don't think that really works out with what we're trying to do. And so here we are playing against Reputation, so I'm not super interested in hanging on to the Maker. I would like to find something a little bit cheaper. We could probably just go ahead and get rid of Bandle City Mayor. We'll be happy with pretty much any one or any two that we find. Didn't find any, but hey, we have the perfect discard to our scrap heap. It's Jhin. Just want absolutely nothing to do with this unit, and so that's when you know you're doing it right. That's when you're doing it right. You just have no desire to play one of your champions. You say, the best thing we can do with you is discard you to a scrap heap. Welcome to the party, Jhin. Glad we could hang out. All right, let's see if we can't get a little something going here now, though. I think the Wallop is probably what we'll want against LeBlanc Sivir. This buys us tons of time in the face of a LeBlanc. We should get a decent attack here, especially if he plays LeBlanc. I don't suspect we're ever going to win this game through damage. I really don't suspect we'll win any of these games through damage. But, you know, when things come together like this, we at least have the opportunity to go for it. I mean, we might. We're getting close to flipping Gnars and doing stuff like that. And so we could realistically punch in some damage here. I don't want to wall up. I want to get our Gnar online. All right, now we're about to be in the space to where we could get the Bandle tree going. It's kind of lame, dude. Some people are out here trying to have fun. All right, whatever. Let's see. Stress defense always interesting against LeBlanc. Give us a big shutdown on her potentially, but... Oh. Whoa. He's going to let her die? Interesting. That was not what I expected to see. All right, let's get the tree. No units. 0 ticks on the tree. I'm ready to battle. Sure. Maybe the stun bird will get some action here. It unfortunately just eats a spell shield from Sivir, but we don't really have anything else going on here. Unit number 1. It has been found.
Business as usual.
All right, we're good to take 5. I'm just going to go ahead and stun out the Sivir. And then we can follow up with Doom Beast, or we can follow up with the Glory Seeker. Probably want to follow up with the Glory Seeker. We can just go ahead and get her into combat. Whoa, we got a trap. Get that point of damage in. Surprise, we got a Jhin.
I need just a moment.
All right, Bandle tree at 2. Good job, team. Into Ziggs. I definitely want to get Ziggs down this turn. I think we should just be going for this big stack of units. We can get the Ziggs down for both Shurima Bandle City. Then we can get the Doom Beast down to hit Shadow Isles. And then we're looking pretty decent in terms of what we're able to hit with the Bandle tree. just looking to not double up on any of these cards. Now, this is kind of an interesting spot. I want to hook Sivir, like this is happening. But with the amount that things could go wrong here, I don't really want her flipping. And so I think we just stop here and just take this single hook and don't let him immediately get Sivir and kind of flip range here. Whirling Death is fine. Again, we're not going to win this game with combat. We're going to win this game with the Bandle tree. And so not super worried about it when he's taking us down in combat like that. We do have to worry a little bit. I can't imagine this would be a deck playing like Scorched Earths or playing the Landmark Destruction dude. But it's something that you definitely have to stop and consider and worry about at some point. Any morph could be big. I'd actually like to get this Towering Stonehorn down if we can, but I don't think it's going to be the case. Okay, let's play some cards. Let's play some cards. Let's take down his bigger unit instead of the 3/3. Oh, did we get to? At what point's Sivir going to flip? It looks like we lose both of our units that way. So we will get to kill the mini-T this way. No, we were going to lose them either way. I thought that... I got a little confused there. We would have been okay with the Sand Spinner, but... Sure. Alright, we need some cheaper dudes. That's our problem at the moment. We picked up the... very expensive ones, but we might be able to get something big going with the Riptide Rex now. We can get the Plunder off of Ziggs, and then drop a Riptide Rex and see what happens. Not looking good. I don't like seeing that stuff come down. But oh man, this kind of sucks if he blocks with Ruin Runner. I don't think he's going to. But man, if he gets to eat the short fuse with the spell shield and we don't get a point of damage in this turn, that's a just actual disaster. Okay. I feel a little better now. I feel a little worse now. Alright, Cannon Barrages, do your thing. So many combos with Jhin. Is that good? Kills one unit? That is not good. Come on, Riptide Rex. You were supposed to hard carry us this game, and then you're just doing that shit. Lame, dude. What did we do? It looked like we hit like 2 or 3 to the Nexus. That was pretty painful. So we must have loaded up like 3 onto that single unit. So expensive. Come on, Bandle Tree. You're supposed to be helping. Ooh, Minimorph was a big draw. Bet we get a huge shutdown on this Sivir. I mean, it's not the hugest deal. All of his units already have Overwhelm anyways, but we'll get some protection out of this turn. Especially nice not having to deal with Sivir. So we'll take like 7 plus whatever these Overwhelms are. Uh-oh. Still going to be like too far out from the tree. I think what we need to have happen here and where we're going to be like kind of short is, well, the Scrap Heap's not going to hit a double faction that we need. It's only going to hit one faction. I think we still just are kind of stuck playing it. We get rid of Sacred Protector. Give an ally Barrier. Can we ever win the game with this dum-dum? Create. an attacking Mumble Sprite with my supported ally stats. So we can get an elusive in with Trevor. What's this dum-dum do? Jhin's actually ready to flip. Deal 4 to all stunned enemies and the enemy nexus. Okay. So 4 to the nexus seems okay. And then if we make an elusive with Trevor, maybe. Did we figure out a way to get there, guys? Sure. Okay, okay. I don't hate it. We picked up this rando elusive in the submersible. Okay. That should be enough. Is there a 2-drop mech that we would want to find? We could find the spell shield dude. We didn't. We got a 2-drop in here. The impact could be useful. All right, guys. Maybe. We haven't played Ionia yet. So, oh, we got a win. We got a W. Market a W for the Bandle tree. We were going to win that one with damage. Good stuff. Good stuff. Made me excited. I was worried we were going to 06 today. Not the case. Ooh, learn from the master. That's what they say. Yeah, it's so frustrating not having this deck tracker. I guess it is what it is, but I'd like for you all to be able to see the deck. This is a place where the Maker could be useful against what looks to be some kind of Nightfall thing. It's not good against Yuumi, of course, but getting a bounce on Zoe can be pretty important. Reset her level up count. Yeah, I don't know what the deal with the deck trackers was. I've seen a bit of chit chat about what's happened with them, and it just seems some people are blaming it on Riot, but then also Riot's pretty good about changing a bunch of stuff, and then you find out the date that the cards are released, and so not real sure who's to blame with that. My stance on it is you give the tools to the community so that you don't have to deal with shit, right? In terms of the way I see things and my infinite wisdom, the way that things should be, is that they're just giving the tools to the community. So if you want a competitive scene, but you don't want to deal with it all, then you just have like a couple of people whose job it is to be the competitive folks at Riot, and then they just give a bunch of money to Mastering Runeterra, whoever, and then Mastering Runeterra actually does all the work, kind of like having contractors to do it. I think that's what you kind of see in Magic in terms of like Star City getting to run a bunch of stuff as well, but I don't know. I'm just a dude on the internet making mouth noises, and so what do I know? That was a bit of an awful Moonstrike. I was really hoping we're going to get to chunk in quite a bit here. This is looking like one of these games where we're going to have to actually deal damage to our opponents, but we'll see. We're getting them for 4. Got a reasonable tempo hand as well. We got this sweet combo of the Maker and Stress Defense if you need to. So if they have their really big unit or whatever, you can Stress Defense it and then ship it back with the Maker. So we got the combos. Using the Maker onto Solari Priestess is not a combo. Don't be sending their Daybreak Invoke back to their hand. Yordle Captain is not who I expected to see. Should have just got a pretty big shutdown on him as well. That is actually like a decent target to try and pop with this Maker combo. I don't think I want to do it, but he's like such an expensive investment that if you have to replay that 4 mana, it sucks quite a bit.
Back, heretic.
All right, well, we'll go for it in combat. This does give him the opportunity to play like Pale Cascades and get out of this. But at the end of the day, we're at least just cycling. And if we get this dum-dum off of the board, it's going to feel pretty good for us. Losing our units, though. Our Bandle tree's not going to see those bros.
Follow me. I know where I'm going.
Here, we do get to boost the Maker with the... or we should get to boost it with the Chime. Maybe we get to return a Zoe. Nope, went on the wrong unit. We could still bounce Zoe, but he's not an immediate threat.
Lead the way, book.
Well,
Following me?
things change. She is more of a threat now.
Venom sure does.
I mean, what do we got? Bandle City, Shurima, Shadow Isles, Noxus, Maker. Like if we had a Bandle tree next turn, we could be up to 5. But gotta find it. I really want to spend a bunch of this mana. Like, sending Zoe back feels pretty terrible. I think this is probably the place where we try and send back the Yordle Captain. Uh-oh. Recall a unit with less power than me. Why can't we... Why can't we... I thought... There it goes. It's like, I know I've done this before. I was just clicking on it, and it kept saying no. It's like, what is your deal? All right, well, it looks like we're on that damage plan again. Wasn't really how I expected these to go, but you don't draw the tree, you got to do something else. There it is.
Hello. Anyone want to join my party?
All right, let's clear out some space. I think the Ziggs attack will be fine. The attack with the 3s is probably fine. Then we can keep these other dum-dums back to potentially just block. Oh, he's coming at us. So many Pokey Sticks. Number 4 on the game. Nice. I do have to worry about the celestial. This only the telescopes make cheap celestials, right? Cost 3 or less. Okay, so we don't have to worry about him hitting the obliterate, the 6 cost obliterate. You could hit it with the daybreak unit, but he got the mountain breath or whatever off of it. Y'all gotta learn to play the game like I do. Now, this Minimorph is a little unfortunate in that the Zoe will keep the Yuumi stats, but we can kind of interact with her in combat if we need to here. I'm not like ultra worried about Zoe. I think it's kind of okay with him getting some of these draws. So I think I just want to go ahead and drop the Buru Lookout. And then just ignore her for the turn. I guess we can just like mini morph and then block her with the Buru Lookout or something, but definitely want to get the unit on board. Okay. All right, so how gigantic are you? 5'5".
You like spiders?
We'll continue to grow. Let's just block with the big unit. We'll have to take this thing down at some point. So it's not going to kill it, right? It's gonna get +2/+2 next turn. Yumi keeps working, even though the unit's mini morphed. The attach keeps happening, even though the Zoe turned into the 3/3.
I bear a message from
Fresh Zoe, sure. That's a premium Zoe. Dude knows what life's all about. Alright, we can damage the enemy Nexus. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and start with the Slinger. He either has to block with the Mini T or take the Fearsome hit. And then we can flip the Merkwolf Shaman. We're going to look to Pokey Stick down his Zoe. Need to do it now. Can't have him just open it, like his turn starting and then reattaching onto this other Zoe. Getting close, getting close. I'm worried like a little bit about this scrap heap, and that we should, when you're manifesting, you don't just necessarily hit the factions you need like you would with the Bandle tree activation. And so I don't think we really need the stress defense at this point. He hasn't been threatening us that much, but we could wait till next turn, I think. This gets us to 7, and then we could drop 8 and 9 next turn. He's pretty far away from lethal.
time book.
I think that's okay. Let's see what we hit. I think we need a P and Z. Von Yip seems pretty good. We can't play both of our units with Von Yip, but with the singular Bandle City one doesn't do us anything as well. Right, we still need a P and Z. It'd be cool if I could see the Bandle tree. Here we go. Yeah. And then if we hit a different faction in here, do we need Bilgewater? No. Targon, we do need. So we can go ahead and drop a Targon. Cool. So then we'll be kind of coin flipping next turn. Well, if we don't hit Freylord, then we can activate the Bandle tree.
Hey, Solari! Got a bit of moon rock for ya.
Get the Cutthroat down as well. It can block Zoe. Seems alright. Let's see if we did it, Fam Jam. Activate that Bandle tree.
Hey there. Don't mind the knife.
Not Freylord. Not Freylord. Alright, we hit it. So he's going to have to either kill us this turn or he's going to have to get rid of our Bandle tree. We'll be good. Oh no, my friend, I've got another elusive, the Silverwing Diver that everyone worries about. I haven't seen this guy forever. I didn't even want to play this guy in Expedition.
I am mortal and divine, and moon.
All right, there we go. The tree's ready. Don't remove it, please.
I see the heavens aflame, God's burning.
Okay, I think we're good. The Zoe's not going to kill us.
What's doing over there?
Face your heretic.
The tension rises. Hi, dude. Dude and butt stuff 420, bringing bringing in the most epic of battles. Sure. Playing cards and stuff. Sure.
Our light grows
I
bright.
bet we win now. He's out of mana. There it is. Check them animations. Rip. GG. Feels good. Outside of these games taking like 20 minutes apiece, that's one of the things that has me interested. I saw the trailer for Marvel Snap, and I had a few interesting concepts from Marvel Snap. Is this guy doing Bard stuff? I think we can hang on to this. Like the thing that you run into with these Bard decks or the Alawi decks is not really being able to deal with the overwhelm. And so I was kind of hoping to pick up a stun outside of the Sunhawk, but maybe we just get rid of Gnar. We can do it like this and then look for cheaper units. Keep the Bandle tree and look for cheap stuff. But that was Ben Brode's game. If you aren't familiar with Ben Brode, he was the lead developer for Hearthstone when it came out. Or if he wasn't the lead, he was at some point. He was the Mort Dog of Hearthstone, if you will. I don't feel like there's a Runeterra equivalent of that. Like I guess that would have been Andrew Yip before he went on to whatever company he's working for now. But anyways, Ben Brode left, and they've been working on their Marvel-based game for the past like 4 or 5 years or so. And it looks like they're starting to crack up the beta. And it's supposed to be some kind of like, my understanding is that it's kind of a auto battler, but you both players are playing at the same time, so it's kind of like a card game auto battler where both players are playing at the same time, and then
Requires my largest official hat.
it's the games are only supposed to last like 3 minutes, and so really fast pace and quick pace. We'll give it a shot. I like to keep the auto battlers as my kind of downtime thing. I don't want to get too invested in a game, and so I just play them for the funsies. But yeah, there's always space for something maybe. That's kind of lame. I was really hoping to drop the Seedling and the Doom Beast this turn. All right. Okay. We can see if we can hit a 2-cost Yordle with the Scrap Heap. I'm not like super interested in Riptide Rex here. He's a long ways away, and we're not super guaranteed to activate him. So let's just go ahead and discard, see if we can't find a 2-cost one. Did we got the Crasher? It's always interesting with the Professor Von Mech though, generating the 1, 2, and the 3. Lets us really kind of ramp up. But we've already got 3 factions. We'll have 4 factions on board with this Crasher. I think that leaves us in a decent enough space to just start dropping the Bandle tree. We should have plenty of time to get the stuff going here between having the Doom Beast and the Mini Morph. Zevi, you're a little expensive. Not quite what I was looking to invest in here. But if he doesn't open, the Sunhawk was a great draw. Don't really want to have to mini morphone and wait on him to have an overwhelm or an Alawi or something. But no, I'm curious how things pan out. Like I don't know the history of like how Blizzard came together or how a company like BioWare comes together. These people that are making the big AAA games, they had to like in that era. Like I don't know if just like dudes that worked at IBM were like, hey, I know how to program and I like to play games. Let's just go and make some games. Like I don't understand how that came together. But certainly nowadays, you don't see nearly as many You're not going to see as many like inexperienced teams coming together. Like I can't remember what Andrew Yip's game was called, but or the team that he went to, but he left Riot to go to what would be kind of like a super team, if you will. And so I don't know like how people are kind of like going separate from like the indie world into things like that, but there's some big ones happening. It's pretty interesting to me. All right, do we get to hit 2 this turn? We hit Ziggs. We still need a Sharima, Noxus, P, and Z. But we can't drop like Wrathful Riders and Ziggs. We could just go ahead and Bandle City Mayor and then try and drop Ziggs after. Hope we hit something cheaper on the follow-up. If we Freylorded, we had the Fury Horn Crasher. Freylord's in there. Ooh, almost clicked on the Yordle Ranger. And so, do we want the Arena Kingpin? We're only going to have 4 mana. I think I feel a little bit better just going ahead and picking up the Demacia champion, just to make sure we have it.
I should make a speech. Where's my speech?
This'll be a blast.
So now we at least have options in the units we're dropping. And if we say, pick up a 1-cost P and Z unit, then we can play the Zevi and the Ranger. If we pick up a 1-cost Demacia unit, we have the options in dropping some cheap stuff. Are there the multi-factions that cheap? Maybe they aren't that cheap, but you get the idea. We have the potential to hit something small. Here we go. So right now we can drop both the Vanguard Defender and the Zevi. We played Ionia? Yes. I think we're good. I think we're in a good spot. No. just no, Gao. We're not gonna let you do that. So where are we at? We're playing the Vanguard Defender. We have to spend 6 mana this turn. We're just gonna be out for 11 mana. Do we want to drop the Yordle Ranger? I think that's okay.
Time to reveal our superior battle tactics.
But needing to mini-morph is fairly awkward here.
I see no obstacles ahead.
So he goes up to 6. Not a big deal. Something like this. That looks good. The thing here is that we're probably actually attacking with the Yordle Ranger next turn. Well, we can't really get any more damage onto the tentacle. Okay. Are we gonna win this one with damage? Are we gonna do it again? I'm surprised. Ooh, that was a great one in the Shell Shocker. I can say he's probably just blocked with the Bell Ringer, or he'll just take the damage. I don't think we're getting him this turn. But if we want to say drop a Noxus in the Rider, drop a Bilgewater in the Shell Shocker, we can still potentially take down the Tentacle. Ooh, this is good. Rip Ziggs, but we've played All right.
The 3 are unrivaled.
Who's left? It's not Ionia or Demacia or Noxus. All right. It's P and Z. We can't play Zevi. I think we're good. Let's go ahead and get this nonsense out of here. Now we just have to survive his turn. Shouldn't have an answer to the Bandle tree. So we'll drop the Vanguard Defender now just to make sure we have another blocker. And then we should be good. Chump Wump, just who I was hoping to see. says, uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Life is too short for fear.
Can Alawi ever kill us? She doesn't have a tentacle. I'm not super worried about that. We can just like preemptively stun and then play a chump lump after the fact. I think this is fine. Don't need him bursting out a bunch of spawns and just blowing us up out of nowhere. Again, I don't think he can do it, but there's no real reason to risk it. We just have to play this P&Z unit before the turn's done. And realistically, I mean, he's playing Bard Bilgewater. He probably doesn't have rallies, right? There is the Fizz rally, there is the new Lurk rally, but I don't think that they're going to be playing it, although they probably should be. Says, uh-oh.
Relish life's bounty.
All right, I'm getting my unit on the board. We can't risk him just passing. It's your turn, Chump Womp. Sure. G. Let's watch that animation again. Oh, we're attacking. Say, I don't give up just yet.
You like spiders?
I don't think so.
Do you like spiders? I thought somebody else had that voice line. Do you like spiders? Sounds like it's about to be a D's nuts joke. It's like I don't know what the punchline is, but that feels like the opener. Oh, did we get a disconnect? Okay. I can say, did you drop the phone in the toilet intentionally or not? GG. Check that animation again. This is a fun one. Way better than watching the movie. Three and oh. All right, Jen, you're putting in the work today. All right, what was this? Ezreal, Annie. Okay. We'll probably have to hang on to the Pokey Stick, and then I don't think we can do this without the Bandle Tree. And so this is a matchup to where I think we're really going to struggle. Ezreal's late game is just way better than ours. So we don't have a lot of tools to just kind of like turbo out this Bandle Tree. Like in the olden days when it just cared about the cards that you'd actually played. Then it was kind of realistic, but nowadays it's not really the case. All right, I kind of like the idea of the Bilgewater one here. Picking up the point to spell mana could be pretty useful. Or do we just want to? We probably just should dig in with the telescope, right? Go for more multi-factions.
I thought you'd never ask. Some encouraging words.
Okay. I was gonna say I don't think those Bandle City Mayor's gonna make it, but if we get the chance to take down Ezreal, I'm fine with that. Doesn't feel like a worthy stress defense. I want to get our Bandle Tree on board as fast as we can. Like, I don't know if this deck's going to be playing Tra-Beams, like with Annie, or not Tra-Beams, like with Annie Ezreal, if they're going to play Scorched Earths, but just there's a lot of potential for everything to go wrong here. And so I don't have high hopes for what's happening here. Swiftling Lancer. Okay. Alright, Ezreal, let's battle. Was this on your radar today? Were you ready for Swiftling Lancers, Ezreal? He's thinking real hard on if he wants to do the 8 mana Tri-Beam onto it. Or the 8 mana Thermogenic Beam. But we can start to turbo after this turn. If we drop the Bell Ringer, the Telescope, and the Doom Beast next turn, gets us 3 factions, lots of stuff on board. I don't hate it. All right. Ooh, the Vanguard lookout. Look out, my dude.
Friends, Tippers.
Okay. I was hoping we could get the stun. Not in the cards today, but would have been sweet if we could have. Here's a Telescope. We're just going to take the Shadow Isles unit out of here. We've already played... we have a Targon. We haven't played Targon yet. Maybe we do... Is this really a Targon card? I didn't think Celestials were attached to factions. Huh, it's like we've already drawn a Targon, but it's fairly expensive. We're already going to play a Shadow Isles as well. Let's just take the Charger. We can drop it next turn, hopefully, and just get moving. Sure. All right. Time for the cool stuff deck. Sandstone Chimera. Not the cool stuff we were looking for. Did we already play Targon? Shit. I guess those were all misses on that manifest then. So we have to play the Spellslinger this turn. Not amped about it, but kind of is what it is. We just need to get the card out of our hand.
Go on, Fang. Just like I taught you.
Gotta get this Sandstone Chimera up in line and on order. All right. Man, another just terrible set. See what we can do. We can probably take down this Ezreal here with the Pokey Stick. And then see where that gets us. That hopefully just buys us a ton of time. We got a Jhin. Look out. Our Chempunk Shredder. We haven't played PNZ yet. It doesn't actually kill anything here. It's a little unfortunate, but gives us a shot.
I want to play.
Do we ever turn this around with just with just our dudes? We're gonna play the Babbling Bjerg. That should draw our Riptide Rex. So that gives us a potential hit for next turn. Also going to add in the White Flame Protector here. I mean, it would be sweet if we got to hit with Riptide Rex. I don't think we're going to get to. But it's worth a shot. We get to full clear his board with him. Alright, that's probably not going to happen. Sad noises abound. Maybe, though, if his plan is to, like, Ravenous Flock the dragon, we might get to stress defense through. Yeah, I was going to say, if we get to, like, go into next turn and then attack with the dragon, and then he just tries to do, like, a Ravenous Flock no block, then we might have had a chance to get the damage in. But... Alright, that plan's out of here. We played P and Z yet? Nope. We have played Targon. It's like, I'm unsure in this spot. I think we can, like, just throw down 2 units, right? We can play the Sea's Voice, we can play the Chempunk Shredder, and then we'll you know, hit one of 2 factions on the next turn, then maybe we can get it with the Bandle City Mayor. I'm unsure with, like, the sequencing here, if we should just, like, throw down the Mayor now and try to hit a cheaper unit, but I do like this idea of just getting to potentially hit. Sure. Oh, Tibbers. 5-10. Are we just dead next turn? That's a lot coming right at us. We do have a stress defense to prevent some of it, but that's a little scarier of an open than I was anticipating. We can stop a ton of it. All right. Well, let's just prevent the damage. We're probably dead, but having to deal 6 is maybe manageable. We've done Shadow Isles. I know we've done Shurima and PNZ. We've done Shadow Isles. We haven't done Shurima. Okay. Hothead it is. So we're probably dead, but we do have the 2 tools now needed to flip the Bandle tree. He's just going to play a Scorched Earth. What? Vanguard's Edge from the Fancier. Okay. That's the way to go, I guess. Alright, but that is a abysmally terrible match, right? We're trying to play these decks that are just putting a bunch of stats on board. And with them having potentially Scorched Earth in their deck, along with Ezreal just sitting around and chunking in all the damage to face, that's a nightmare matchup to have to play. But all right, let's get one more in. I wasn't sure how many of these we were going to do today. I like to keep the video at like an hour, and these games take forever. And so we're not going to do the full 8 today. We'll stop at 5. These things take 10, 15 minutes apiece. But it's been interesting. Like the Bandle tree just kind of like really fell off the map. I know that the change by having to see the units is pretty terrible, but I wasn't expecting it to be much of like a ladder climber anymore. But I thought we might see it in best of 3, where you can just be like, okay, ban Ezreal, and then there's a lot of decks that really struggle with it. But I do have a feeling that this deck also really struggles with the likes of a the overwhelms kind of strategies. So like the Pantheons, what we're up against here now, the Sejuani Gangplank. I'm curious if this guy's going to play the Wharf Rat. Wharf Rat's a card I'm looking to get some battles in with. That is the 1/3 overwhelm unit for 2 mana that gets a +1 attack for every turn you've dealt damage to your opponent. And I think it's, of course, going to be fantastic in a deck like Sejuani Gangplank, but I think it also has a place just in general aggro decks. Like a 2/3 on turn 2 isn't that great, but it's still serviceable, right? You can attack left with it to the end and hit with your left unit and still give it the bonus for the turn. And I think it's like very realistically like a 4/3 for 2 mana early and then a 6 attack unit late. If you can manage to get it going early enough. All right, Bandle City Mayor. Who are we going for here? We already have 2 Noxus units in our hand. Let's just pick up the Hothead. We are playing Ziggs as our Sherryman unit, but we have the potential to get this down now. Does he ever block? I don't know. I'm a little skeptical there.
I'll be quick.
It's like, is he gonna troll chant this? I think he was thinking about troll chanting. Let's make sure we get our mana out of the Bandle City Mayor. Like I want to drop the Bandle tree next turn.
Summons me.
Okay. These champions are pretty close to flipping. We have the stuns, so we can shut them down for a bit. Still a little worrisome though.
It's majestic, like my moustache with bar.
Sure. I guess we're attacking with the Hothead now.
This is destiny.
Okay. That Jhin sitting on top, he just picked up his stats and everything. He's feeling pretty good. Drawing a Noxus one was abysmal.
Explosives primed.
All right, but we can get the Saboteur down. We can get the Doom Beast down. I was going to say, if he pivots into playing a big Overwhelm unit here, I do want to be able to stun it. And so I didn't want to blow our wad on the mana a little bit too early. Where are you at? Spellslinger can get the stun, and then we can still play Doom Beast.
A little puncture and a lot of pain.
All right, progress. I still worry about these overwhelms, but we have a couple of stuns and a stress defense. We might make our way through this. Let's see what he brings to the party. I like having the mana to be able to tag the powder keg if we need to. And then I think we can just look to stun Gangplank and maybe actually deal damage this turn. We're going to take 3 off of the Tusk thing. We do have another... No, this is our last Pokey Stick. We probably have to save it for when Gangplank attacks. Right, I don't want the big cannon barrage just AoEing our team for 2 or 3 damage.
I'm going for a walk.
Alright, let's get these damages in. Maybe this is a damage game. Hitting them for 10. And then if he like opens with Sejuani next turn, we still have another stun. Seems pretty good. So he entreated last turn, right? So he either has a Sejuani or he has a Parlay. And I think it's probably better for us if he has the Sejuani. Maybe. I don't know if we can actually deal combat damage anymore when he puts Sejuani on the board.
From the savage cold.
Yeah, we're so close. We got the Doom Beast, the Pokey Stick. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, we have a point of damage from the Saboteur. That's how we do it, isn't it? We get the Saboteur, the Doom Beast, and the Pokey Stick. We don't have to worry about the Sejuani anymore. Okay.
Everything's in place.
Rip it in there.
He'll die.
Show them our teeth.
Maybe. Did we do it?
Will no one listen?
Did we do it? Mark it a W for the home team. It says, oh shit. Oh shit, Bust, you got me. Nice. Nice. Okay. Okay, so let's pull this up. We can talk about this Bandle tree a little bit more. And so that was interesting to me, right? And just kind of another way to approach these decks with this Jhin, right? We talked about all the different ways that you could take advantage of Jhin with the stack ability kind of thing with Annie, with the stun stuff, and then, well, what if we actually just want to kind of go multi-faction with this? And I think it was kind of interesting. Now, is it to say that this is better than just actually playing the multi-faction stuff? I mean, probably not. Right? There's a lot of Yordle support now. You can play like Ziggs, Gnar, and Teemo, Kennen as a variety of multi-faction dudes. You have the Bandle City Mayor. You have the new unit that just generates a Yordle. And so you can come like people from two angles, right? You can play the big Yordle's attack package, and then if you want, you can Bandle tree it the same, or you can play Tristana's, right? Like where I'm coming with this is I don't necessarily think that this deck and this concept is better than just using what exists within Bandle City and doing the multi-faction thing, but it's a concept that we can look towards for the future, right? What if we do want to play Yordles and Arms? What if we do want to play the Bandle tree? Or if we're, say, looking at a best of 3 format and we want to play like 3 Bandle City style decks, and then having Bandle City Jhin is one of the options to slot your Bandle tree deck in. And so I'm not trying to say that this is the next big thing in the world, but I think it's an important concept to think of with Jhin as the future comes along, right? We're playing Sunhawk, Spellslinger, Doom Beast, Maker, Riptide Rex. That's 5 factions outside of the normal amount. And so interesting ways to pull off the multi-faction stuff. The other concept is like, how do we think of just the Bandle tree, right? I have a lot of decks in this format that just don't play well against it. I think we're still in this world to where again, like I always call it like the Sun Disk problem. How do we beat the Sun Disk? You have to have overwhelms, you have to have elusives, or you have to have rallies. And the same thing applies to the Bandle tree. It's the exact same sequencing with the Bandle tree that it is with the Sun Disk, where you're just going to load up the board with a bunch of dudes. You're going to say, I don't actually care about dealing damage to you. I never have to win any of these combats. I'm just going to have dudes on the board, and then my card is just going to win the game eventually. And then that strategy is much safer with the Sun Disk, right? You have additional ways to protect it. Your cards don't suck as much if things go wrong, but it's an interesting concept to have there. And I'm glad we did get to pull off. 2 of our wins were off of the Bandle tree, and so it's certainly a capable card if you can get it out there and up and running. But nonetheless, that is going to do it for us today. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. You maybe learned how to climb the tree with your Jhin a little bit better. Maybe learned a thing or two along the way. Had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.